Hey everyone, welcome back to TK's Tech Talk. Today I'm going to be looking at this CiT MTX007B, which is a mini ITX case. So I plan to do a build in this case with a 5600G and an A520i motherboard. And one thing that I wanted to check out was what is the clearance of the cooler for something like the Wraith Stealth, which comes with the 5600G. So that's my main concern about this case right now. I'm not sure if that's going to fit, but let's take it out of the box. Let's have a quick look at it and see if we can work out if that cooler is going to fit. Now, the problem is, of course, until we build it, we won't accurately know, because I'm just going to try and place the cooler in here. But let's just have a quick look at how this case looks. Let's adjust the camera a little bit, zoom in. So the first thing we notice here is that there is a bulge at the top here. This case is very similar to the Inwin Chopin, and that bulge of course can allow for slightly higher CPU coolers, but the only problem is I think they officially supported higher. I couldn't find the actual specs, but I think it's 42 millimeters, and the Wraith Stealth I believe is 54 millimeters. So anyway, let's have a quick look inside. So we've got some wires here, some cables, some screws to attach it, some instructions. I'm not going to go into too much detail with all of that. Inside the case we have a 180 watt, I think it's a TFX, I'm not sure, power supply. It looks very small compared to other power supplies. One thing to note about this power supply, because it's 180 watts, it just has that single 4-pin connector, which is fine even on an 8-pin motherboard, because all of those 8 pins are at the end of the day dual 4 pins, and it can only go into one of the 4 pins. We have our 24-pin ATX connector, and we've got lots of I/O ports here for the audio and USB and things like that for the front. There's no USB 3 unfortunately in here, and it looks like the standoffs also are already applied. There you go, you can just about see that one there. Right, and it actually feels quite nice. Got a nice soft feeling to it. It's not very heavy. It's got a shiny front there. It's got a slim DVD slot there, so you could potentially put a SATA hard drive enclosure inside as well for a 2.5 inch hard drive. And at the back we see the power connector there. It looks like one of the laptop power leads. And then of course we've got the cutout for the rear I/O panel on the motherboard. There's some vents on the top. Is there any on the bottom yet? There's a small vent and a fan for the power supply there. You can just about see that probably. And then underneath we have this stand. Now this stand can either go on the base or on the side here. So I think you just got to open and close there. We just open it up and then we can just turn it around. And there we go. It stands up like that. So whichever orientation you choose should be good. Got some more vents on the back here, and then let's have a look at the back of the case. So I don't think this is screwed in. There we go, it just pulls off. And inside the back you can also see there's a 2.5 millimeter hard drive slot there. And again, like I said, if you use inside the DVD bay one of those SATA converters for a SATA SSD, actually I think there's actually a mounting point here. Yeah, there is. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like we can just directly mount a 2.5 drive in there. I believe that's what it's for. Right, well, if that's the case, that really is pretty cool. So that's about it for the case. Now let's have a look at this CPU cooler clearance issue. Now until that motherboard's in here, I'm not actually going to know how that clearance is. But let's just put this back on the bottom for now and see. Let me get the Wraith. Oh, we need to put the case back on. Let me close all this back up and let's get that cooler. Okay, so I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, but anyway, I've got my cooler here. This is Wraith Stealth. I've never used it because I've been using it with a different cooler. The CPU that is, because it's an existing CPU that I'm going to be putting in here. And we've got the fan. Now, if I just rest this, I've got the plastic on it. So obviously we've got some extra height there. We're just going to see how much it sticks out of the top. Now, I've seen somebody who's done a build in this case, and what they've done is they've cut part of this housing away to allow for that mesh to fit on top. Otherwise, you could just leave it open, but I'm not sure how the dust is going to handle there. We've got a thing. Where is it going to be? Roughly here. Is it going to be about here? Right. And does it close? So right, actually, considering the motherboard's not in there. Okay, so the cooler's currently slightly raised. It's actually closed in right now. I'm not sure if that's going to fit. But one thing that we can assume is that because we've got some extra height here, right? We have got some extra height here which we're dealing with. So we're actually starting our height measurement from here. So it's possible once the motherboard is in, we're going to be starting from the CPU, which is here. So it's possible that this might just fit inside this case with that cutout on the top. The only way we're going to find out is once that build is complete. So I think that more or less covers, you know, the features of this case. Not a very exciting video, but at least if you're looking into buying this case and have similar concerns about the cooler, I will be doing a build with the A520i from Gigabyte and the 5600G with this Wraith Stealth Cooler. The Wraith Stealth Cooler comes with the 5600G and 5700G and is smaller than the Wraith Spy Cooler that comes with something like the Ryzen 5600, I think, or 5800, I'm not sure. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.